And this one was the Africa Pod Academia Lab. Talk about, obviously Nigeria, South Africa, Ghana, the top 5 in Bitcoin Google searches and Google Trends. Binance Uganda launched. And then the different use cases, healthcare, real estate, finance, and then different hurdles, what I sent in the email, which is regulations, outreach, and then applications. So.
Perfect. All right. Well, I guess let me introduce you here.
All right.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tyler Olsson. I am the University Program Director at Mousebelt, y'all's host for Reimagine 2020. And with me today, I have Oyedeji Oluwoye. He's the founder of Coincentrix. He is going to talk a little bit today about the state of blockchain in Africa. Oyedeji, how you doing, man?
Doing good, boss. About yourself?
I'm hanging in there.
That's good. That's good.
Whenever you want to start, the floor is yours, man.
I appreciate it. No, thanks for the platform, and thanks to the team out there, just to shed some light on the continent and different blockchain activities happening out there. I guess I'll start to the left on my screen, just to check in from the Africa aspect and Austin State University aspect. Coincentrix, just a quick overview, digital asset research investment firm founded in 2017. Just working with a wide range of different customers and different industries about blockchain tech and integrations. Main 4 pillars: software dev, blockchain development, outreach, and digital asset management. 4 major products that we're really touching on is SakiBit. SakiBit is the API implementations, creating backbone infrastructure tailored towards the African continent for cryptocurrency implementations. OneSwitch is a point of sale solution utilizing different USSD and blockchain technology for powering. Proof of presence, longitude and latitude blockchain infrastructure, adding that in there, and then manages a project used for like social and NGO and foundation impact. Here we go here. Zero knowledge proof, put the slide in. That's shout out to Zcash Foundation. This was a tour of the aspects of outreach that Coincentrix does. Went to multiple different universities around the US, talked about cryptocurrency and blockchain implementations and how that can affect, the African American and diverse cultures and communities. That was 2017, people to really get adjusted into the whole crypto and blockchain space. And then, the tour of Africa integrations. My parents are Nigerian, so I go to Nigeria at least once a year, and really have a lot of focus within that area. I think digital assets and cryptocurrency can impact that area a lot. So to the right here, this was a very big conference called the World Youth Forum that was held in Egypt. They had different sessions and workshops. One was blockchain and the revolution in digital world. So you had a lot of different African leaders come, a lot of different Arab leaders come, and we had very good cultivating and interesting conversations of how blockchain can really develop those regions. Also, Austin State University worked for like a year to get the MOU done so we could create pilot projects and proof of concepts off the ground involving agriculture, involving reminiscence use cases, as well as healthcare. So it's a very interesting partnership with an academia institution in that region. And just a small picture here, this is like the different computer labs where some of the blockchain workshops were being present. So that's that on that side with the check-in. But the current African blockchain state, so I want to touch on that over here. You got the big, I think a lot of people on this call might already heard of Binance. Binance did a lot of investments into the region. They created Binance Uganda. They also have Binance Charity. So they have a lot of investments, and I think they even the head of Binance Labs was also a Nigerian out there in the West Side. So that was very interesting. If you go to Google Trends currently, you will see that, and you search for Bitcoin, the top 3 out of the top 5 countries, African countries, Nigeria, South Africa, and Ghana. So we see a lot of the search trends happening there, you know. So a lot of from that data, we can take that a lot of people in those regions are interested into the technology. But when we want to look at a map that might display mining aspects, right? You know, a lot of the mining is not happening in the continent. So we definitely need an investment into the infrastructure aspects. And that could either be the developing, creating apps, you know, even maybe potentially even using solar power for different type of mining. So the decentralization aspects, and if people are really true on that, you know, it's a global ecosystem, and decentralization is a big focus factor. Going on to the current state, academia and outreach definitely plays a piece. Like I said, getting an MOU within that region, I think that was a good first step. But now really going in and going hard on the pilots and proof of concepts is the next rollout. So many different interests is in the area. I think we've seen Jack, which is the CEO of Twitter, go out to the region, visit some local different blockchain entrepreneurs and different startups out there. And we see a lot of understanding of the African continent being one of probably the next frontier when it comes to, you know, different type of innovation and especially fintech adoption. So mobile phone usage is high, but we can use and, you know, assist academic and research institutions on the continent to really like spearhead that and move in the correct steps. Here is more of the use cases. Finance, real estate, and healthcare. Finance, we can talk about that with the fintech aspects. New apps have been launched within the ecosystem, blockchain wallets, cryptocurrency transactions, or a lot of things that's happening on the continent. And so that's where I think finance and the use case falls into that bucket. Real estate, utilizing blockchains for asset documentation. So people that can now use those, you know, in the identity aspects, utilizing your assets, so you can, you know, get a potential loan against your condo or your house. So and that can be valued. A lot of the assets are not digitally documented, and now we can utilize, you know, different hashes and immutable digital distributed ledgers for that aspects. Also healthcare. Creating healthcare records. I think over in the US, it's called meaningful use. You know, the transfer from paper records to digital. So if we can look at it like how we're skipping the whole wireline aspects and went straight to cell phone adoption, we could potentially do that with the digital records in Africa as well. So having your own identity, creating that, and utilizing that for your, you know, your electronic medical record. So now you can go to different doctors, pull up your history in seconds instead of trying to get, you know, physical papers and you know, records being mailed across the continent or something like that, you know. So that's I think that's a very big use case over there. And I'll say the different hurdles, especially when we're talking about Reimagine 2020, regulations within the continent, regulations, and especially there's so many different countries, so it's regulations per country, and understanding what type of framework that you can work within. I think outreach as well, that goes into different schools, STEM programs that have some type of blockchain focus, digital ledger focus, that could be very useful, as well as localization of different applications. Yes, a lot of applications are global, but then there's the local ecosystem. And with this open source technology, we need to really help developers on the continent build applications with this free technology so they can really assist their communities at bay. And that's really a quick overview of that and the state of blockchain in Africa from my point of view and from my data sets. So.
Thank you. I have a question about the African government. Are they generally receptive to all of this because they see the potential that it has to sort of reshape, you know, a lot of their industry and industry practices, or are they resistant?
Okay, no, 100%. So I would start from, I look at it as like a pyramid aspects. Since we got the MOU of Austin State University, it was much easier for me to get into the Austin State House of Assembly and then give them different pilots or different proposals for different pilots and proof of concepts that can be run within the continent. I think that, and then once people can understand that from the small aspects, you see one of your big universities in the state adopting this or potentially trying to move forward, that I think from a government level, it can like connect from one to one. So that's have been a success rate from that I've seen, and now we're trying to do different pilots within that. I've seen different reports from different banking institutions when it comes to the global state or the continental view of it. Every different country has different laws. I think it was Consensus that put out something like that. They had a nice little publication that showed every country and where they fit in within the whole blockchain regulation space. But I think there is enough breathing room that people can innovate and still create. There hasn't been too much concrete like this has been banned, especially the blockchain part. Maybe the Bitcoin part that you see in a couple of countries, but the blockchain aspect of it, I have not seen that. Where it's like, okay, this technology is completely banned. So I think it just comes down to the creator. It comes down to the entrepreneur, the developers, and just pick up this technology and obviously try to create your impact of it. Because once people see impact, then it's very hard to be like, okay, no, we don't want to use this. Well, no, if it's doing something good. So.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to play it, because what you see in the United States, for example, is people more or less advising Congress to be a bit more patient when it comes to writing legislation around how all of this is to be regulated. And that's in large part because there's still a lot that we don't know, right? And more specifically, there's probably even more that the people that write legislation don't know about it. So I think that it's smart for most government entities to sort of tread with caution, because you don't want to sort of shut down something which you might end up, once you learn a little bit more about it, be like your ally, right? Something that you're actually going to benefit from too, because it's very easy, I would imagine, for the state to, hear about Bitcoin and to sort of think of it as a kind of like anti-state money system that's just being used on the Silk Road, and like whatever other, right, the same old bullshit narrative that you have to sort of really shut down when you talk to most no coiners, right? Very early on in the conversation. So it makes sense why they would maybe, if that's all they heard, be very quick to kind of shut it down. But I guess if we're giving credit where credit's due, it's a sort of good reflection on the part of most governments around the world that there isn't this heavy hammer that comes down right away. So
100%.
Well, Oyedeji, Coincentrix, thank you for taking some time out of your day to tell us a little bit about what's going on with blockchain and cryptocurrencies in Africa. Is there a website or any place that people could reach out to you or learn more about Coincentrix and just kind of what you're up to generally?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think Coincentrix.io is the best place to go. Coincentrix.io. And then like an Instagram or something like Coincentrix, same spelling. As well as recently now working within the Middle East branch, so with the Forbes aspects. So different articles coming from me, especially when it comes to the Middle East aspects and what blockchain is doing over there, digital assets. So that's a very nice, good pull. And yeah, just email anytime, because I love talking cryptocurrency, I love talking blockchain, and I love talking about emerging markets and cryptocurrency. And that's where it's been at for the last year, 2 years, maybe like 3 years, But yeah, especially going forward, that's where you can reach me. Just shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, something like that. Cool, I'm open.
Awesome. Well, my friend, I wish you a happy rest of 2020 and enjoy the rest of your day today. All right.
All right, man. Thank you. You too, Ross.
All right, peace.